Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. New cast of 90 Day Fiance leave audience shocked. Man asks fiance to take an STD test. First things first, do we have multiple catfishing couples this new season? Yolanda seems to be in denial about Williams, and who knows if Lana will even show up to see David. But was Joffrey and Varia's relationship ever serious? So much to question and so many scenarios that left viewers wondering what the hell is going on.
Thank you.
And for you, sir?
Sample is great, thank you. He doesn't usually drink, so that must be a very special occasion.
Number 7. Avery and Ash. When Avery arrived, they had to get an Airbnb since Ash's brother didn't want them to stay at their house. So much for Avery telling Ash that he'll have to migrate to her bedroom after finding out there was a second room. The two wake up together after an obvious intimate evening. "I did not go straight to bed last night," she giggles to producers. "The plan was to sleep in separate rooms, but it's really hard to resist having such a sexy man in front of me. Guess those black roses from the last episode really sealed the deal, huh?" Ash says on camera that they did it twice last night, and Avery claims that he's the best she's ever had. No doubt one of the perks of dating a relationship coach. The couple prepares to meet up with Ash's brother, and Avery is nervous about making a good first impression. "In all honesty, I just want to make sure I don't have to hide anything about myself. I just want to be open and authentic in who I am," Avery tells Ash, especially since both he and his brother don't drink or smoke marijuana as she does. Avery and Ash decide to explore Melbourne before meeting up with his brother, Antish. Things get interesting when Avery orders a cocktail, and Ash follows suit and asks for a drink as well. Right off the bat, Antish is already against her, calling her not a good influence, teasing them about meeting online, and even bringing up her previous relationships. "The vibe I'm getting from Antish is not great. It feels like an interview," Avery admits in a confessional. Antish then asks what the plan would be if they wanted to move forward with their relationship. Avery tells Antish that Ash has told her he'd want to move to the US, but Antish warns that there will be difficulties ahead for them.
"I've never met her.
You've never met her?
She's in a foreign country.
Number 6. David and Lana. When David went ring shopping, the jeweler was left dumbfounded after finding out he was buying it for someone he'd never met miles away from him. However, he was more amazed to find out he was getting something less than a diamond due to past experiences, as he'd been divorced twice. There have been red flags before about Lana possibly being a catfish because she has stood David up several times, but that doesn't stop this man. After $100,000 spent, David turns a blind eye to Lana's other profiles on dating sites, claiming it was normal for a young, beautiful girl who hadn't committed to anyone yet. When David lands in the Ukraine to officially propose to his girlfriend Lana, their meeting was postponed until the following morning. Thus, his ex Anya picks him up instead. This was very fishy and seemed he'd been catfished. 12 years ago, Anya was trying to find an American spouse on an international dating site, but after meeting David in person, realized there was no chemistry. She's suspicious of the elusive Lana. "I think David is a really nice guy, but he doesn't see what's really going on," Anya says in a confessional. "Some girls enjoy the man who is really old but has the money, and they're not serious on the websites. I'm worried that that's happened to David." Regardless, David is determined to bring Lana to the US on a K-1 visa. He's in the Ukraine to essentially have the required official in-person meeting to prove their relationship, plus take photos together for the application. "I don't know what to tell you. This is very strange," Anya rightfully tells David.
"How do all three of you guys sleep in this tiny little room?"
In our culture, it's normal. You're all men, you're all guys, no problem.
Number 5. Lisa and Osmond. When Lisa got to Nigeria, she was shocked to see how Osmond lived with his friends and the condition of their home. She wasn't expecting such a celebrity. Despite the home being decent, their bedroom was a joke, and Lisa called it a child's bed because it was tiny and looked like a makeshift sleeping bag. The bathroom was worse since they didn't have running water and had to rely on water in a bucket. There was an awkward moment as Osmond tried to show Lisa how it's done. Lisa and Osmond meet up with another Nigerian celebrity, Abba S-Boy. Abba gently tells Lisa that for musicians like him and Osmond, women are the core foundation for their fan base. "You're causing a lot of trouble here," Abba bluntly but accurately tells her. "You really don't understand how it works in the music industry. Are you trying to say like in America they shoot music videos, love songs without a model in it? Abba calls a video without a model tea without sugar, and that doing so will disappoint fans." Then he just straight up asks if Lisa is trying to destroy Osmond's music career. She threatens to get up and leave, calling Abba S-Boy an idiot. "You're still in Nigeria. You're not that big a fan of an artist. You're not that big of a producer. You're nothing," Lisa yells as she walks away. Osmond says he's embarrassed by her actions. Also, the day before the premiere of Osmond, aka Soulja Boy's I Love You music video, Lisa warns Osmond about dealing with his female fans at the club. But before they go to the party, he brings her to his recording studio. "This is where my baby love did my song. This is really cool," she smiles. The music video director, Umar MB, stops by the studio too. Lisa immediately is annoyed because of his decision to use a model in place of her, and there seems to be no love lost between the two of them. Honestly, I don't want credit for the video because it's changed so much from my original idea, Umar MB says in a confessional. She is the queen of queens because she made us do extra work. Usman purposefully mistranslates what Umar MB said, telling Lisa it's a compliment. I wish Lisa could understand what I sacrificed for her, Usman admits, citing the strain between him and Umar MB now.
She said, I used to communicate with another American before I met you.
Number 4. Joffrey and Varia. When these two meet, their whole meeting was very cold and awkward to watch. However, when they got to have dinner together, Varia confronted Joffrey about his ex, which didn't go well with him, as he didn't wish to talk about it. She proceeds to ask him about his children, which she learned about via social media, and still tried to defend himself by claiming that he wasn't sure they were going to work out and didn't see the need of telling her yet. In another cringeworthy moment, Joffrey confronts Varia about her intentions after she called the relationship an opportunity to go to the US. If we don't work out, is it on to the next American, he asks? We're both just trying to find our soulmates. It's not my fault that you're an American, Varia responds, citing a Russian fairy tale that's basically the reverse story of The Princess and the Frog. Joffrey says that he's going to trust her and try to not conflate their current relationship with his exes. Joffrey finally meets Varia's friend group at a restaurant. They ask about his occupation, previous relationships, and intentions with Varia. There's no reason I should be interrogated like this, he states to the camera. One of Varia's friends asks in Russian if she's told him yet that Varia was recently talking to another American man online. Apparently, Varia had previously said to Joffrey that he was the only American she ever tried to date. You've been dishonest with me. Is this funny? Joffrey asks Varia and her friends. This is ridiculous. He lied to me. I'm done. This is bullshit. He storms off, telling himself that he should have been smarter about this. Number 3. Yolanda and Williams. Oh gosh. Yolanda still thinks Williams is a real person. After taking Yolanda through an emotional roller coaster when he ghosted her, apparently he's since apologized for completely changing his Instagram page and blamed the actual app itself. I'm so relieved Williams got back to me, and he's in the dark just like me, which made me feel better, she tells the camera. In the meantime, I'm still moving forward with my plans to see him. Yolanda goes ahead to browse for hotels and flights and even calls her daughters to help her pick. In the most obvious revelation, Yolanda calls Williams to know which airport to book, but he had no clue and only tells her at London. There was no British accent at all, and even people in the comments section noted the strong West African accent, citing a catfish. She's later seen on another episode shopping with her friend to find something cute and sexy to pack for her trip to England, because apparently she's still determined to go, no matter how many red flags have to hit her in the face. Number 2. Erica and Stephanie. Stephanie lands in Australia and we're introduced to her girlfriend, Erica. Their relationship is a fit for the famous reality series since they've never welcomed a same-sex couple, and they are the first. Erica and Stephanie are giddy at the airport after meeting each other. Erica brings Stephanie pineapples since that's her nickname. She's the most beautiful, best-smelling, best-dressed, most amazing human being. I probably like her way more than she likes me right now, but it's okay. We've got time to work on it, Stephanie gushes. The couple don't kiss at the airport because Stephanie says she's not into PDA, but they're both excited to make their relationship publicly known later. However, most people think the two are just best friends as there's no romantic chemistry between them. Erica lives in a small town and has had trouble finding romance in the Australian outback. Yet her friends are slightly skeptical of her relationship with Stephanie since thus far it's only been online. Like Stephanie, Erica has also yet to come out to her parents. I've never told them because I've never had a girl that's been special to me that I've wanted to commit to fully, Erica says to her friends. Erica says that if things do work out with Stephanie, she'd be willing to move to the US to be with her. Number 1. Ed and Rosemary. Ed Brown's relationship with his online girlfriend Rosemary might be over before it actually starts. In this particular episode of the hit reality series, Ed struggles in the Philippines where he traveled to meet 23-year-old Rosemary face to face, or evident. Ed, who has sensitive skin and also a sensitive diet, is clearly uncomfortable with the humidity in the country and sweats profusely, and appears to almost have a panic attack at an outdoor market when Rosemary continuously pulls money out of his wallet to buy things without asking. Meanwhile, Rosemary notes that she doesn't like this side of Ed's personality when he's stressed. While Ed does calm down after getting a manicure with Rosemary, things take a sour turn between the two when they go out for dinner, which is when Ed decides to ask Rosemary to take an STD test. Ed explains that he doesn't trust Rosemary because she never wants to talk about her past, including the father of her 4-year-old son, Prince, and her ex-boyfriends, and why she has thousands of Facebook friends. Not surprisingly, Rosemary is offended by Ed's request, and says she's hurt that Ed doesn't trust her and thinks of her as a dirty woman. "My heart cracked," she tells cameras about Ed's request. She then says that if she takes an STD test, he should take one too, although Ed says he isn't comfortable and will only take the test in America. After Ed walks away from the conversation to get some air, Rosemary breaks down in tears and turns angry. She eventually gets up to confront Ed and says that she doesn't talk about her past because the father of her son is now married with a new wife and kid, and she hasn't talked to him in a year. She also says she's only had 2 boyfriends since her relationship with Prince's dad ended. While Ed says that this is all he wanted to hear from her, the damage is done. Rosemary says she wants to go home without Ed, and Ed apologizes and makes sure she has a separate hotel room for the night before she gets into a taxi. Ed is clearly heartbroken after the intense argument, declaring to TLC cameras that he no longer believes in love.